Okay guys, thank you all for coming, by the way. And this is like our 10th Hot Topics event, and you guys are all super busy. I really appreciate you coming. I think this is the largest group that we've had so far. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Dr. Jarrod Frank, founder of PFRANKMD Skin Salon. And this is our largest group. We're actually going to be streaming this live to our social media audience, so I can't say anything vulgar. We're going to be talking about a few things. I'm going to give some updates on the brand itself. I'm going to be talking, as I always do, about some hot technologies and new techniques. And then I'm going to be talking a little bit about the future of home skincare. First and foremost, I can reassure you all that the next year is going to be filled with enormous innovations in the beauty industry, for no other reason than in 2 weeks I'm turning 50 years old. So I will be upping up the ante, and we will be turning on all the new toys and the doses. And yeah, so I think what we've all noticed in the beauty industry recently is the voracious growth that's going on. From men to millennials, the audience is getting younger and younger. We're starting to see pop-up beauty bars all over New York City, bus ads. I'm part of those bus ads, but we're seeing injectable clinics, private equity branded laser clinics. The acceptance and the enthusiasm for all these procedures are just getting very commonplace. I'm still waiting for the vape pen flavors of cosmetic branding, like Tutti Frutti, lip filler, things of that nature. So it's unbounded. I never thought 20 years ago when I went into this that talking about Botox, talking about fillers and injectables and all these type of things would become so commonplace. Now, so many in the academic world of cosmetic dermatology and plastic surgery, they're certainly not too fond of this. They see it as a threat to their businesses, but also a threat to the dilution of the quality of care and the safety of these procedures. We are a form of medicine here, and I think for most cosmetic derms, plastic surgeons, particularly in my practice, we're seeing a double-digit increased rate of not only poor aesthetic outcomes, but of big complications. And it's not to say that with the growth out there aren't amazing healthcare providers that are doing what they're supposed to do, offering their services to people that want them. But it is a little bit the Wild West out there. As it says on the napkin, drive-thrus are for burgers, not for Botox. And I think we're going to see a huge consolidation in the industry in terms of where it's going. To me, I see it much more as a call to action. It's really not a threat of any kind. I think there's huge potential in this industry, and I'm super excited to answer the call. One of the bigger announcements, for some of you may not know, is that PFRANKMD Skin Salon is actually expanding downtown. And we're not going to be opening up another pop-up bar. We're not going to be opening up another med spa, but we're going to be opening up the most comprehensive, chic AF cosmetic health center in the country. Okay, it's going to be gangbusters, and we're going to be working with Gachot Studios, which is a renowned design firm, and we're going to be opening up a 4,000 square foot storefront, bespoke, aesthetic healthcare center right in the heart of the West Village. So we are super excited about that. It's going to be staffed with my extensive team of board certified dermatologists, cosmetic PAs, some of which are here today, medical estheticians, registered nurses, all performing our cutting-edge procedures, customized signature procedures, all under my tutelage and supervision of the crew. So we'll be also expanding our retail. We'll be partnering with some of the best and the brightest in the beauty industry. And the Uptown PFRANKMD is really going to remain that upscale cosmetic surgical center that I envisioned 20 years ago. It'll continue to be the boutique place, but really the road to expansion and the sky's the limit is really downtown in the West Village. And hopefully, please, Lord, we will be all seeing that in the spring and early summer. Now, with this ever-expanding market, we are literally all bombarded with content. Even as the experts of beauty here, I'm sure there is such enormous amount of data to kind of go through. And we are finally growing into a society where there really is no standard of beauty. Rejuvenation procedures are for everybody, all ages, all colors, genders, sexual preferences, and it's really common conversation. And I think the world of wellness, self-care, grooming, cosmetic dermatology, plastic surgery is really kind of all melding into this conversational vernacular I like to call pro-aging, not anti-aging, pro-aging. It's a lifestyle. And hopefully by the time the office opens in the summer of 2020, you're all, after 15 years, going to get a hold of my second book. That's going to be published by Post Hill Press. It's going to be called The Pro-Aging Playbook, and it is embracing the new lifestyle of beauty and wellness for any age inside and out. So I'm very excited about that. It's going to help readers of any age really navigate not just the beauty industry in terms of procedures, but also lifestyle. We're bringing in experts from nutrition, fitness, wellness, obviously cosmetic physicians, and it's really going to be a tell-all about going through the nitty-gritty, telling people what's bullshit, and helping guide people to being the best versions of themselves. So I'm really excited for that. And now we're actually going to talk about procedures. There are a bunch of procedures to talk about. I've been really fortunate to be involved in the research and development for many of them. I'm going to give little brief blurbs now. Obviously, if you need more information, you can see us on social media, on the website. TLC is here to provide you with any information you need, and you are all welcome to come visit and come play at PFRANKMD. So the first device I'm going to talk about is this little pen. It comes from Cartessa Aesthetics. It's called the SubNoV device. It's going to come out probably, hopefully, FDA approved in 1 month. I've been working with this device for 6 months now. If you've been online and you tour around things in Europe and Russia, you may see kind of less sophisticated versions of this called plasma pens. It utilizes plasma energy, which is the fourth state of matter. It's not a laser, it's not a gas. And what it does, it releases a certain type of waveform of energy that helps almost cauterize tissue. So this is literally a wrinkle eraser. You're going to be able to use this for small areas of crepey skin where you would otherwise need much, much more aggressive technologies. It does have downtime. It does require injectable anesthesia. But with about a 4 or 5 day downtime, you're going to be able to achieve in a very ergonomic battery-operated device something that someone else would have needed hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment for. So for those type of practitioners that are out there throughout the country, or for young dermatologists starting who can't afford millions of dollars of equipment, this is going to change the game for people. And again, people are colloquially calling these plasma pens, but the SubNoV device, I think it's going to be an amazing tool. Another device from Cartessa Aesthetics is called CoolPeel. Some of you may have heard about this device so far. I call this the clear and brilliant of CO2 lasers. For those of you that don't know, CO2 lasers were the gold standard in the 90s when I was in my training. They were amazing. They were the facelifts of skin resurfacing. They got rid of wrinkles, they tightened skin, crepiness. The problem was that they had an enormous amount of downtime. Patients were often put to sleep for the treatment. Recovery was weeks, not days. It doesn't really work out in the busy lifestyle of today. And there were significant risks comparatively to some of the non-invasive tools that are out here today. But ablative laser resurfacing is back. And now with new waveforms of delivering these types of technologies and wavelengths of light, we can now do a procedure under topical anesthesia. We can do it with just 1 to 3 days of recovery, and in a series of treatments really get the type of tightening that you can only get from CO2 laser resurfacing. You can't really get this with a lot of the non-ablative closed skin devices that are out there right now. So ablative resurfacing is back. We're going to be able to treat fine lines, pigmentation, wrinkles, all the things we like out of lasers, but weren't really able to get before, we're now seeing come back into the vernacular. So if you've been in the beauty industry the last couple of years, or if you've just been in life, I think everyone has heard of EMSCULPT technology. Has anyone not heard of EMSCULPT? Are you all tired of hearing it by now? This muscle modification technology that came out about 1.5 years ago from BTL Aesthetics. We're about 1.5 years in its use right now, and it is a booming technology. In the next 6 months, you're going to see every other laser company coming out with their own version of this technology. It's an MRI-delivered magnetic field device that actually stimulates muscle growth. It's a new form of cosmetic modification that we just haven't seen before this. It is the Botox. What Botox did for wrinkles, this is doing for body modification. We're also finding out there are so many other uses for it other than just for skinny, fit young people who want a six-pack. This summer I did a big event with friend and patient Drew Barrymore, talking about some of the research and developments in using it for postural development, core development, and how it's a treatment that's benefiting not just your 25-year-old fit model, And we're learning more and more about what we can do with it. This summer we had the new smaller hand pieces. We're now able to treat biceps, triceps, inner, outer thighs, ankles, wrists. I mean, it's really unbelievable now the versatility that we're seeing in this machine. Some of the new protocols we're having, I think some of the research we're doing is showing, and currently in my office, we're using this now as a form of rehabilitation medicine, people recovering from various injuries, disc surgery, and most amazingly so, post-pregnancy. We've seen an enormous amount of advantages for the very common stretching of the muscle called diastasis recti. If you've had a baby, you'll understand maybe it doesn't bounce back as quickly as possible, and not only does it make a huge cosmetic improvement, but it actually helps regain the tonicity of the muscle that is broken down and torn through the pregnancy process. So I actually foresee this to be a standard in the wellness of pregnancy recovery. So it's super amazing. I think there's still an enormous amount we're going to find out about this technology, and obviously you can see a lot of people trying to get into the business. So last year at this talk, I briefly mentioned a technology I was working on from the same company as EMSCULPT that was going to kind of innovate and reinvent treatment of cellulite and skin tightening. And this technology just came out in September. It's called EMTONE, not EMSCULPT, EMTONE. And really it's using a novel form of energy called shockwave technology. It's a mechanical energy. It almost feels like a vibratory device that really helps deliver radio frequency heat to the skin that not only increases the efficacy of skin tightening compared to older technologies, but does it in a way where you could really do it in much, much fewer treatments. So to me, this is a huge jump in what we can offer. And this company now really, they've kind of cornered the market on being able to affect body tissue from the most top layers of the skin all the way down to bone. And I do foresee somewhere in the future non-invasive devices that you will get in a doctor's office that will actually help redevelop bone mass, which is also a big part of aging. These aren't just cosmetic concerns, people. These are part of the wellness industry. They're part of well-being. They're part of the way we see ourselves. None of us were meant to live past 500 years ago. So all these technologies are really going beyond just the idea of cosmetic surgery and looking good. It's about being good. It's about being the best version of ourselves and growing older in a more graceful, because truthfully, without anything like deodorant or cosmetic procedures, growing older is not always so graceful. So now we're going to go a little bit into talk of the beauty industry at home. Everyone is talking about bespoke skincare. Everyone wants bespoke, customized. There's obviously a huge demand for customized products out there. I think part of this is an answer to the fact that there are so many skincare products out there. There are so many things, devices, creams. If you go into a Sephora or an Ulta or a doctor's office, it's just immeasurable the amount. And people want products for them. Everyone has different skin, not only individually, but also seasonally. And I think there's really this call to action. Unfortunately, a lot of the emerging technologies that are out there right now that are trying to be all chic and technological are really based on questionnaires. You go to a doctor's office, you go to Sephora, they ask you what's your main concern, do you have oily, do you have dry skin? It's really this kind of questionnaire, consumer-based customization. I'm very proud to be the first physician in the US to present a new technology called the IST device, which is individual skin technology. And it is the first and only in-office, truly customizable skin device. It utilizes various in-office skin tests, like, I got 40 lasers in my office. Well, now I'll be testing pH levels of the skin. I'll be testing the amount of moisture in the skin and the thickness of the stratum corneum. We'll be detecting sebum levels, and these results will be put into an algorithm that was developed in Germany, which also developed the IST device. And in a 10-minute period in the office, this device will put out one of millions and millions of customizable ingredients. There are actually 18 active ingredients in this IST device. And each individual is going to get a bar-coded, customized, bespoke skincare regimen for them. That with that barcode, they could achieve that product again and again and again, or depending on season, depending on age, depending on travel, the tests can be redone and your customized skincare can be adjusted. I just think it's an amazing technology. As a brand ambassador for the IST technology, I've had the unique fortune to work with friend and celebrity facialist Georgia Louise, who really was one of the people who helped bring this technology to the US, and we'll be working together on this. To me, this is the future of doctor dispensing skincare, and you're definitely going to want to check this out. You can all come to the office and do so, and that's all set up. You tired of me yet? We're almost done. We're almost done. Okay, so now we're going to talk about advancements in semi-permanent makeup. We all know about the modern technologies in microblading, nanoblading, and various cosmetic types of tattooing. PFRANKMD's own master artist, Christopher Drummond, in the back there, is one of the innovators of these technologies. We're so happy to have him. And we are very proud to announce the latest trend of our invention, PFRANKMD BB Glow, which is an immediate and short-term makeup tattoo procedure. It actually originated in Korea, as with all things in skincare. And what we're doing is we are literally micro-needling organic makeup particles into the topmost layers of the epidermis. So for patients who don't have the time or want to do laser procedures, or who have problems with their makeup or problems with skin, putting it on, washing it off, putting it on, washing it off, we could actually create a flawless complexion that could last weeks. And the normal skin cell turnover, which happens every 30 days, exfoliates the product naturally. So you're all looking at me like, you're going to find out. And if you go on our Instagram, you'll be able to see a lot of before and afters and how the process is done. It's safe, it's amazing. We're seeing a lot of different types of people do it, men, women. It's helping out with scars and every other form of cosmetic tattooing. And Christopher is going to be your man to speak to about that. And finally, no PFRANKMD Hot Topics would be complete without talking about my partner in crime, Madonna, and our skincare line, MDNA Skin. With the huge success of our ergonomically designed carbon ultra-infrared emitting beauty roller, we have answered the call for more, and we have come out with the eye roller. Okay, if any of you are familiar with the original product, which has done so well, it's a little big and chunky, a little tough to get around the nooks and crannies. So now we'll be able to work more around the eye areas, other nooks and crannies, to help really integrate other forms of skincare you want into the skin, or ergonomically give lymphatic drainage. Also a big trend in home skincare right now, I think body creams are coming back. And this was always a big European thing. Now we're getting back into body creams here in the US, and we came out with MDNA Skin Body Glow, which is a hydrating and affirming product that also gives a visual sheen. We have our proprietary triple hyaluronic acid formula, also has soluble collagen in it for firming, and it has crushed pearls, because it's Madonna, you have to have crushed pearls. And that is what's going to give a body shimmer for that person who wants to put it on their arms or décolletage or legs before an event. And it really gives the type of shimmer that we're looking for. And I think if you can believe it, I think that about covers all the topics. I could certainly answer any questions you have now, but you know where to reach me, everybody. I think the future of beauty is very bright, and that the future of beauty is PFRANKMD. So I thank you all for coming to my Hot Topics. And any questions? Any embarrassing questions in the meantime? My font keeps getting bigger and bigger because I keep getting older and older. Next year, I may be wearing glasses.
Regarding the